Now let's take a closer look at Under Armour and the sportswear market with Lisa Delpy Neirotti. She's joining us from Colorado. Lisa is a director of the Masters in Sport Management program and an associate professor of sport management at the George Washington University School of Business. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. I think it's pretty safe to say that Under Armour is in a bit of a brand crisis right now. You have the CEO stepping down. The COO, Patrick Frisk, is going to be taking over. This is the guy who's been in charge of revitalizing North American sales, but that market has not returned to growth. And actually, he and Plank are very coy about when they believe that these sales are going to turn. Do you think that Frisk is the right person for the company at this point?
Yes, I do believe that Frisk is the right person, and he's been able to implement some more efficiencies in their operations. I think, Kevin Plank, it was time for him to step down. Most CEOs last 5 years, especially somebody who had founded the company. There's different skill sets from a founder to somebody who's going to grow and continue to make operations more efficient.
Yeah, there were certainly some calls for him to step back, especially after there was some reporting that came out last year about some of the work culture at Under Armour. But Under Armour rivals, Nike, Adidas, Lululemon, they have been very ahead of trend in a lot of way on this athleisure. This basically everybody just wants to walk around in leisure clothes 24 hours a day. But this is something that Under Armour broke away from last year. Do you think that was the right move, or should they get back into that space?
The market for athleisure is huge, and Under Armour needs to continue to tap into that. But you have to understand, when Kevin Plank started this company, he was completely focused on performance and not so much just the average recreational participant or those who just want to wear shoes and stretchy pants for relaxation.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people walking around the offices nowadays wearing stuff like that. But I mean, it wasn't that long ago when we thought about fitness brands. We thought Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Puma. But now we kind of think about tech firms in a lot of ways, right? Apple, Google, Xiaomi. These are technology brands that are getting into the fitness game. Do you think that there's going to always be this divide between athletic wear, footwear versus technology, or does it start to blend together, that technology is going to be embedded in the clothing, embedded in the shoes? And what sort of pressure is that going to put on these legacy fitness brands like Under Armour and Nike and Adidas that perhaps don't have the technological depth or capacity that Apple or Google has?
These brands are already in the technology business. So Nike was the first to come out with Fuel Band, which was like Fitbit, but they realized that the amount that they were making on Fuel Band, it was so small and they weren't experts in technology. So they said, we're going to get out of that and keep focusing on our core products and implementing technology into our core products. So that's now they have the self-lacing shoe, and they have the chip in the shoe to connect directly to other people's technology platforms. Now, Under Armour has spent almost $600 million buying apps that track fitness. So MyFitnessRun, MyFitnessPal, I should say, MapMyFitness. These are apps that they now have 120 million data that they can, users that they can aggregate the data, and then they look at when and what type of exercise people are doing, and they can then offer certain products to these people based upon the data that they have.
Do you think that consumers trust Nike, Adidas, Under Armour a bit more with their data than they do perhaps Google or Apple?
Well, it's all about community, and they're not thinking that they're giving their data to these brands. They think they're just, tracking their data and sharing it with their friends. And I don't think many people have realized the connection back to the brands.
I want to ask you very quickly about Google and Fitbit, that $2 billion deal. I think it's a pretty bold move, not just because of the money or the product, but because the US and EU regulators right now are very much on the lookout for anti-competitive behavior. Plus, you have US presidential candidates quite keen to break up these big tech firms. So do you actually think that we're going to see the end of this deal?
I think it'll go through. We have to understand that Google is ultimately a data company. And this is just one more data piece that they're pulling together. And it's really a fight for Apple Health Kit, Google Fit, Samsung has a digital wellness platform. They're all trying to get as much data on every individual as possible. And so there's still 3 competitors in the marketplace, and Under Armour has their wellness platform. So it's not so much that Google has everything right now.
All right, thank you so much, Lisa Delpy Neirotti there in Colorado for us.